It is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sunny day. As you can see, the clouds are smiling. Guys, God is awesome, eh? In any case, we are here for the radish. It's almost 6 weeks, and the radish needs to be taken off the ground. From last week, I was actually looking at it, and as you can see, it had already come up, and it is like literally up and ready to be harvested. As you can see, our radish has done amazing. I tell you, look at that. Look at how beautiful this radish is. Even these ones are just like literally coming up the surface now, and they're like, no, sisters, take us out. So what I'm gonna be doing today is I'm literally going to take out all of the radish, because it would be my third harvest now on this bed, right? So we are going to be taking out all of the radish and cleaning this bed and preparing it for lettuce. Ideally, initially I thought I might actually prepare it for more carrots, but then because radish is a rooting plant and carrots are also a rooting plant, I just figured that maybe I can put a different plant. Oh look, they're actually even starting to crack. This one is, where am I? Where is it? It's actually starting to crack. This one is starting to crack because it has been on the ground for way too long. And the thing about radish is once it's on the ground for a long time, it starts not tasting so nice, you know. That spicy taste to it becomes a little bit yucky. So we are taking out all of the radish. We're using this bed for lettuce, because even though I wanted to put more carrots, I'm just thinking I'm going to use this bed to put down a plant that is not doing the same thing that the previous plant that was here was doing, because it's a rooting plant. Carrots are a rooting plant as well, so chances are they use almost the same kind of nutrients. So I'm just going to be very lenient on this bed and put down lettuce, and then I'm going to look for a smaller patch on around here that I can put down more radish, because radish takes off, like I keep saying, guys, radish takes off quite easily and quite fast, right? Oh, look at that. Look at how beautiful this is. So instead of ending up having to harvest so much radish and making people eat radish almost on a daily basis, I might as well just put it on a smaller patch and just be able to manage that. Normally, if you store it correctly in the fridge, it can last for up to 2 weeks. So we should be good with about 3-4 servings in the next coming 2 weeks. And also, I actually almost forgot, the leaves of radish are also edible. You can cook them like you cook your spinach, and just saute them and just have them nicely like that. And also you can make pesto out of them. But then because I don't have peanuts in the house, I'll have to pass on the pesto. Reason being, they keep at least the longest 3 days in the fridge, the leaves. So ideally you would want to just use the leaves as soon as you pick them. And yeah, as you can see, we are going to cut somewhere here to use the leaves as spinach. Discard all of this, then cut here and cut there. Okay, As you are watching me harvest this beautiful radish, there's a few things that I would love to share that I've come to learn along the way whilst um, planting and actually harvesting radish. It's been plus minus 4 to 5 years that I have been successfully planting and harvesting radish. And what I have come to realize is for a much better yield of radish, you would rather sow direct on the ground or in pot plants where you want for the radish to grow, right? Instead of starting them as seedlings. I don't know, it just seems like they just thrive and do much better when you don't stress them out by putting them in pot plants, and after some time you take them and you put them on the ground or some sort of thing. So the whole idea is to just plant them where you are going to leave them up until they harvest. And normally when it comes to the harvesting of radishes, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for them to actually grow to full maturity. Well, depending on the factors such as the weather and the soil conditions and how fertile the ground is. But then anything between 6 to 8 weeks, it's a good enough indicator that your radishes are sorted. And the other thing also that I've come to realize is that it takes about 5 to 8 days for you to actually see the sprout, especially if you are planting them on the ground. And with this last batch in particular, I don't know what was the story, but then for some reason within 3 days I actually started seeing the sprouts coming through, of which for me that was a plus. So I keep saying that radishes are just one of those plants that are just easy to grow. And even if you think that you don't have green fingers, please by all means try with the radish. You will see it's just amazing. Within like literally less than a week, you would start seeing the sprouts coming through. And the other thing that maybe I can mention here is that if you are planting radish for a continuous harvest, I would suggest that you plant in in 2 to 3 weeks succession planting, whereby maybe the first week you would plant whatever the amount that you think you are going to need, and then around 2 to 3 weeks later you would plant your second batch, and so on and so on, so that they don't grow all at the same time and you are able to just have this continuous harvest when it comes to your radish. And yeah, what else can I think of on top of my head when it comes to radishes? Oh yes, most of the radishes or the radish varieties, they keep well in a crisper drawer in your fridge, right? And they tend to last anything between 7 to 10 days. They stay fresh around 10 days when you keep them in your fridge. But then ideally, radishes are just best eaten fresh from the garden. So hence that's why I say you might actually just think of having your radishes in a succession planting system instead of just having a lot of radish at the same time, and then you end up with a huge yield like I did with this yield. I mean, like literally it was just way too much radish for me for one batch. I'm not complaining though. However, I'm just realizing that maybe spacing it apart in succession planting of about 2 to 3 weeks in between would do wonders. And what I also did here was I actually planted 3 different varieties of the radish. One being the cherry bell, of which it's the smaller ones that normally tend to take on a red color. Then it is the other one that is called a giant clove, of which it's similar to the cherry bell. However, the giant clove tends to be red and white and a little bit bigger than your cherry bell. And then the third variety that I planted was the sparkler, which is the one that is white and almost looks like the carrot. Oh yes, and just another tip, not only about the radish now, but then if you are like me, your vegetable garden is in patches, I would ideally suggest that every time you harvest from a patch, make it a point that you actually just clean that patch as you go, it just makes it very, very easy for you to actually just maybe wake up the following day and be able to start planting something else on that patch. Whereas if you just leave it and say, okay, I'll sort it out when I get to decide what it is that I need to plant there, it just makes the work even a little bit more difficult. So ideally, as you harvest, clear the patch, fertilize it, and get it ready for the next planting. Okay, we are going to start with our pre-wash before I actually take these guys to the main house. And ideally, this is where I separate the radish from the leaves, and anything else that needs to go to the compost would be added to my compost bin. So let's just maybe do it this way so that it's actually a little bit easy. So as you can see, this is all the radish that I harvested today, and it's actually quite a lot. It is a lot. Okay. And a very nice and cool fact about radishes, especially when it comes to its leaves, right? You can have or make a very yummy soup using the leaves. The one that is my go-to is, you cook it just like you would cook your spinach, but you actually add milk and loads of butter and your favorite seasoning, and you make soup out of it, and it's just one of the yummiest soups you can ever make. It's a little bit spicy. It's on the spicy side because radishes are a bit spicy, but it is just divine. You have that with your toasted bread and voila. Now, my friend, if you have come this far into the video, thank you so much. I really hope that you got some value out of it. And by all means, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And let me know what you think of this video. And possibly do also let me know, are you thinking of growing radishes yourself? Alright, a quick one before I actually close this video. Because it was actually late last night, I couldn't get to finishing the video itself, but then I washed the radishes, and the red bulb ones I actually just canned in distilled water, and they're just nicely sitting on the fridge. Whenever I need to use them, I would just take a can. I initially thought it would be just 3, but then it's 4, the merrier for me. Whereas with these ones now, these are the long white ones. What I did was I actually pickled them in just white vinegar and sugar and water. So these are like literally ready to eat whenever you feel like just having a snack of pickled radish. But then these would be the ones that I use in my stews, my soups, and my roasts. Okay, so yeah, that's basically how much of the harvest we got from our radish. Oh, and the other thing is we actually had radish soup last night, and I used the radish leaves for that. Okay, bye.